Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I will be sharing how I create a very simple 6x6 mini album. I will also go ahead and organize my kit that I'll be using together with this album, and I will also share my process for my intro page in the mini album as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you do, be sure to remember and give me a thumbs up before you leave. And if you are new to my channel, I do hope you consider subscribing today as well. Now, if you are familiar with my channel, you will already know that I do love creating in my traveler's notebook. And this would be my fall traveler's notebook that I have not completed as yet. So I will have to go back and fill in some of the spaces in here. And in my traveler's notebook, I usually document everyday happenings that may not necessarily need a larger 12 by 12 layout on its own, but I still want to tell that story. Now, sometimes I do add some simple art journaling pages as well, or even a quote page. So I am way behind. I have not done a traveler's notebook for January or even began one for February. So today I decided to go ahead and combine all 4 of my SCT sampler kits and use them as one huge kit to catch up and maybe even continue into March if this kit would go that far. Now, SCT is scrapbooks and cards today, and I do subscribe to their sampler kit where they would send out each month a sampling of different collections. So with all of these kits, these 4 kits, I will have many different collections combined. But I will go ahead and show you guys in a few moments that even though these are several collections, they do match really well together. They do go, the pattern papers you'll see go really well together. Now, in the middle of 2 of these kits, there are some Christmas themed pattern papers and embellishments, and I will go ahead and remove those from this kit. I do not want those in there since I will be documenting January, February, and possibly March. I will go ahead and put aside the Christmas themed items. So the first thing I did was to remove all of my pattern papers from each of these kits, and here I will go ahead and organize the remainder of the supplies into this iris insert, and I will go ahead and add the stickers to one section. I will add embellishments to another. Then I have a section for my cut apart sheets, and I do have some words that can be used as titles as well. And there you can see I even received a stamp set with my last kit, and I will add that in that iris container as well. Now I do keep this on my desk so everything is at hand and easy to grab once I'm ready to create in my album. So here I have all of my pattern papers together. I will be using my hole puncher, and I will be using some binder rings as well. Now, next up, I will go ahead and separate my pattern paper into piles. I will pull aside the ones that I want to use as backgrounds in my album. So here you can see this pattern paper has numbers on one side, but I really want to use the other side in my album as a background. And I will go ahead and take this pattern paper and cover it with that one. So that way I have 2 sides that I really like from my album, and I don't have to see the side that I did not like at all. And I will adhere those 2 pieces together using some adhesive, either my ATG adhesive, or you can also probably use liquid adhesive as well. So here I'm just punching out 3 holes on my pattern paper, and I will use this as a template to create the holes on my other pattern papers, so that way they all will go ahead and line up really nicely together. So one tip I'll add here while you're punching your holes on your pattern paper is to make sure your patterns are correctly aligned how you would like to see them in your album. Keep in mind your holes will be on the left side of your page, so any patterns or writing will need to be correctly aligned on the inside. Like the word love, you do not want that to be upside down in your album. If you want a stripe in a particular direction, horizontal or vertically, you will go ahead and punch your holes accordingly. So right now I'm just going to go through all of my pattern papers, and I will go ahead and add them next to each other in the way that I would like to see them in my album. And then I'll go ahead and bind it all together using my rings. So towards the end of this video, I will go ahead and do a flip through of this album. Here you can see I added a cover to my album as well, and I did add a back cover also. And there I'll tuck away the rest of my pattern papers that I did not use. So next up, I am going to do the intro page for my album, and I will go ahead and list any of the items that I used today down below in the description box. I am using some Winsor & Newton markers right now, and they are metallic markers, and I will add a quote to my front page. Now I will go back in with a purple. This would be a silver that I'm using right now, and I do go back in with a purple metallic marker as well and outline those letters once again. So although my handwriting isn't perfect, I do plan on using it more and more on my layouts here in my traveler's notebook, actually my mini album I should say, not my traveler's notebook. And I will also try to use my handwriting more on my art journal and scrapbooking layouts as well. And right now I am going to complete my quote, which says, "Trust the magic of new beginnings," which I thought would be a nice quote for the beginning of the year. And here I'm using my Signal gel pen, and it is a white pen, and I am going to go ahead and add a little doodly border around my quote. And I also inked the edges of my page, and I believe this is the Distress ink in the color Spun Sugar. So here I'm going to add a bit more to my page. I pulled out one of my Happy Planner sticker books, and I will grab some flowers from there and add them to my page. So as a finishing touch, I will go ahead and add some splatters using my white ink, and I am just diluting it a tiny bit with some water. And next up, I will give you guys a flip through of this album so you can see all of the pattern papers side by side, as well as my completed page. Now, this is one thing I really love about this album, is that I can take my pages out to work on them, then add them back in. I could also move around my pattern papers if I wanted to, and also add in white paper if I wanted to, because you can see I only added pattern paper to this album so far. So here you'll get a very quick flip through of what all of the pattern papers look like next to each other. And I hope you guys enjoy it today, and be sure to come back. I will go ahead and continue working in this mini album in the next coming weeks to catch up with my January layouts and February layouts. And thank you guys for watching today. So until my next video, bye.